Welcome to Clash from the Past. The title of today's video is Let Them Beat Themselves. Sometimes you're going to run into players who are in such a hurry to get to the losing line it's not even funny. And my suggestion in these situations is don't get in their way. Stand them up, defend them, sure. But if somebody wants to throw half-court shots all day long, one after the other, as they clank off the backboard or hit some old lady in the stands eating popcorn, watch them do it. Watch them do it and wait for your moment after they've emptied out their elixir to push back and easily take the game and say thank you. You don't have to match their brazen overconfidence or the degree to which they somehow convince themselves they're clever. Don't tell them. Just beat them by letting them beat themselves. I don't know why some people play this way. Maybe they're just screwing around. Maybe they've had success with these tactics in the past. All I know is that the examples of gameplay, deck design, perhaps style of offense, attack, defense, be damned, they're all designed to lose. And when they come my way, I'm not going to engage with them on that level. And for those who come at me this way, who I leave in ashes, you can check yourself or continue to wreck yourself. It's up to you. Let's have a look at some examples. Now, in this very first game, they open up with the little goblin rocket thing. I don't know the name. I should learn the name. And I'm kind of like, well, that's weird. It's a bad play. But I think I know why they did that. They did that because that card was just too small. They want to get to the big ones. And, yep, they play some small ones to defend, and they think they got us because down comes the bowler, and watch out. Oh, it might be something else. Yes, indeed, indeed. Here comes the P.E.K.K.A. It's all kinds of big cards coming our way because that was the plan all along. But we're sitting there going, yeah, no problem. Let's bunch all these suckers up in one spot. We'll take care of them and maybe see what we can do going back the other way. So the witch comes down by itself, not too bad. Then in comes a hog rider. But yeah, that's right. We have enough left to stand them up with that Mega Knight. And again, they throw in the elite barbarians. And they do get some hits in, but right now they're out of juice. And they try to defend with this little hide-and-seek goblin thing, but we get through that pretty good, indeed, indeed, and they even throw a fireball for good measure, and my partner then says, well, let's send in the skeleton barrel, see if we can draw some more defense off of that, and now look where we are. Now I know at this point, I can feel it. They don't have any elixir left. I've also seen most of their cards. I know what they might be able to use to defend. And there's an opening here, and I'm just going to walk right into it. That's right, I'm going to drop the giant at the top. And all they really have left, while my partner throws a goblin barrel, is a firecracker. And at this point in the game, our opponents could have walked over before it started and just handed us a trophy. Would have been quicker, would have been simpler. Could have just said, here, I don't want this. Now they're back on their heels, and they think, all right, here comes the executioner. Boy, I don't know if we saw that one yet. That's another big card they had. And they even make the mistake of dropping the whiz right next to it. And the rest of it here is just sort of more of the same, where they're trying to bunch up all their big cards and run us over while we're like, great, thanks. And the game runs through. We don't manage to get 3 towers, but we stand them up as they continue to come at us. We push back, stand up as they drain their elixir, and down the tubes they go. In this second game, my partner decides to throw in the hog rider to begin with. And they let the cat out of the bag by dropping that Mega Knight. A pretty big card coming back the other way, but alright, no problem. And because of that, I'm able to drop in that Inferno Tower to neutralize that for the most part. Pretty even exchange at this point, nothing outrageous. I like putting that little ice wizard up front, getting in the face of other people, but then they make the mistake of double logging. They're like, defend, defend, defend. They're dropping too much to try and offset their over-offensive style. Then, when the coast is clear, they decide to drop the wall breakers, along with the knight, bunching them up in a place where this better work, because if it doesn't, once again, we're going to take the elixir advantage and put it to good use. My partner throws down that cannon, which does a good job of dealing with the wall breakers, which is a tough card, I have to admit. We get one pop on there, and we're ahead a little bit. Okay, so everything's kind of cool. What are they going to do? Well, they might get frustrated, or they might think, ooh, I got a trick up my sleeve. I wonder what it's going to be. But meanwhile, we're doing a good job here. If they're going to over-attack, let's just wait. We don't have to put anything down, and that's exactly what we do. I throw the tombstone in there just to kind of piss them off, and it works. Because they drop the Dark Goblin, and then I all of a sudden do that, and Ice Whiz up top takes care of that, and yep, we got the little crossfire going on that big Mega Knight, which basically gets neutralized. Yep, and once again we have the elixir advantage going this way. It's a good time for that Hog Rider. Comes in, I got a little zappy, boom, we'll take the ones out and back, and look, we get the best of the exchange. Now, it would behoove these players right here probably to sit back and reassess, but nope, that's not what they do. They want to throw in those wall breakers that get eaten up, and they also want to throw in a Goblin Barrel. Attack, attack, attack. After I drop this giant, one of the players up front gives me the Goblin Raspberry. Because he knows they played themselves into a hole that they can't dig themselves out of, and we're just going to quietly fill it up and just put up a gravestone and say goodnight. Because it's over at that point. Hasta la vista, bye-bye. Now this last one, you're going to see a lot of tropes of over-aggressive offensive action. And in fairness to these two players, it's pretty well designed and it's pretty well executed. And thankfully I have a good partner who's patient. Because patience and acceptance of what's coming your way is a good way to defeat people who really are in a hurry to beat themselves. Right at the outset, right there. They open up with the Lumberjack and the Balloon, right in the beginning. Now look, I'm not saying that's not a useful move, but what I am saying is to somehow think that two players with 16 cards between them can't just shut that down. I don't know who you think you're fooling. That's 10 elixir. That's not nothing. Not only do we stop it, but we got some stuff going back the other way. Now they drop the Barbarians, which in this mix is a good card, especially to fight off something like the Giant or a big P.E.K.K.A. or anything of the like. And they do neutralize it, but they also let the kitty cat out of the bag. And the other thing that this team doesn't do is anything differently. Now, the other one I didn't see coming is this Electro Dragon. This blue sucker, who's kind of a pain in the butt, and you have to give him some space. So we do give him space. And they try this little lumberjacky balloon thing once again, and they're probably going to have some more success with it, but since we know it's coming, it's not hard to stop it. Not only is it that easy to stop it, it's easy to go back the other way. And my partner senses the opening, sends in the Hog Rider, and we get the best of that exchange by a lot. Now again, I'm interested in if these two players are thinking, well, maybe we should shift things up. Nope, they're not going to. And because they aren't, me and my partner are like, well, let's just see what else. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. But since there's an opening, yeah, throw in the Dark Goblin. Like that. Again, Tombstone Guard Goblin is going to really upset this situation. Now they're loading for Bear. They're coming in with the healer. And so because they're loading for Bear, I'm going to put the Giant in back and treat it sort of as a shield to push forward. Maybe cause some trouble up front. We don't want to be back on our heels when they're in our face. And therefore, yeah, that's a pretty good exchange right there. Shoot, we've got to get that blue guy in the right. I wish he was easier to kill, but he's not. Now, all of a sudden, oh boy, look at that. Just when we thought they were done, they come in with the Elixir Golem. Now, that's not a bad move considering what they have behind it, but we can handle it. As you also know, when we kill the Elixir Golem, we get a bonus 2 elixir. We're going to put that in our pocket as we fight off these two balloons. This is a little bit of a desperation move because all their other stuff hasn't worked. I don't think this is very well thought out. They even use a freeze right there. My goodness, a freeze. They got all the tools to try and execute what they're trying to do. And in fairness, they're doing a pretty good job of it, but it's not hard to sort of understand the flow and rhythm of it. And at this point, it's like, yeah, I know exactly what they're going to try and do and how they might try to do it. So what do we have in our decks to counter it and push back the other way? Like the Dark Knight there, and they even get frustrated and go, well, I'm going to go in on the other side. Sneaky, sneaky. Man, good luck with that. Again, it's not going to work. And so therefore, it's like, you know, all I will say is that this is well done. And that freeze there is kind of what spells their doom. It's not bad by design. It's not bad by execution. But it's just attack, attack, attack. with no pivot. Attack in many different ways, but seeing what we're throwing their way, the fact that they're unable or unwilling to do anything different is what's going to spell their doom. And again, my partner's playing well, but because even there, even when they know what's coming back their way, they still throw the lumberjack. And we're just able to overwhelm them. And I know the barbarians are coming in, so I throw in a log and a zap, even though I would never do that. But I know it's going to be there. And we are going to be able to get through it. They're even trying to stop us with the elixir goal. They're trying to attack, but they're also trying to hold us up, and it's not going to work. We are going to be able to nickel and dime our way into this. And this was not easy, but it also wasn't hard because of what was coming at us, the speed at which it was coming, and the ways in which it was coming at us. I just think, by design, pretty good. Strategy, pretty good. Gameplay, pretty good. But if you're going to bring that at two good players, at the end of the day, it's designed to lose. Well, that's it for today. So I'll catch up with you maybe tomorrow, I don't know, sometime next week. Everyone have fun out there, and thanks for stopping by.